What's up, guys? Dave here from Knifeworks. Earlier we tried to say we were going to go live. We had technical issues. I just posted about that. We're going to get it figured out. So instead, we're just going to do a regular video, and we're just going to do the whole thing. Sorry. All right. So right now, what I end up doing before I even started was I just got everything set up where I wanted it. I got my forge right here. I have quench oil here. I actually have some fairy brick here to actually lay my knives on. So that way, as I'm doing the normalizing and all that stuff, it's, I have a safe place to set them. I don't know if you can see them honestly because I don't have a lot of room. I have aluminum plates now. All right, guys, welcome back. We actually got everything all situated with the forge. The forge is actually hovering between 1598, 1601. All right, what we're actually using and is a heat treat recipe from Kevin Cashin, who is a well-known knife maker, and we're going to follow his recipe. It's worked out very well for me, and I really appreciate the guys that come before me sharing the information that helps us keep progressing and getting better. So right now we are going to go through and do a normalizing heat of 1600, and we're going to set it in cool air and follow up with further refinement cycles. Now, the refinement cycles, normally it's 3 of them. So you basically let it heat right up, get even all the way across, set it, let it get black. Then you'd put it back in and you do it again. You can keep repeating that cycle. So once each one has hit 3 of them, then we'll actually go to the heat treating or the hardening austenizing temperature, which is 1500. And we're actually going to be quenching it in canola oil. Some people want parks and all the other stuff. But from what I was taught and what I still use and works really good for me is canola oil. Love it, hate it. It's your preference, but it's always worked out really well for me. So we are hovering right around there. We just kind of do a little adjustment, try to keep it. All right, so we're going to start sticking in blades and start letting it do the cycle, okay? So for this, and it's going to kind of suck, is we're actually going to shut all the lights down. And what that does is allows us to actually see the color better. So I'm going to tell you now, I'm sorry for the color, but, or I should say not the color, but the lighting. But it's the best way to do this. And so I know it sucks, guys, and I do apologize, but there is some light coming in from the door open. I would have my big bay door open, but my pickup actually went down. I got it repaired, and there's still stuff in front of it. So needless to say, it's a little warm in here. But let's get this rolling and start doing these cycles. I do have gloves over here. I do have the bricks over here. I'm going to see if I can kind of move you and give you a better picture of what I'm doing. So give me a second. I would say hopefully you can see everything because I'm trying to look at it myself. But looking at the finder, you can. So now we're just going to start sticking them in there, let them come back up to temperature. I normally only do 2 at a time until I get rolling and I get up to temp. Right now we're around 1608. Pull. Put it down. What I'm setting them on is actually just regular fire brick. You can actually get fire brick from Lowe's. So if you choose. I ran it in my other forge. It holds up fine. All right, guys. So we went through the normalizing process for the first 4. Okay. We got the 4 done. They're sitting over on the fire brick. Right now, what we're doing is we're trying to bring our forge down the temperature, and what we're looking for is around 1500 degrees. So if it bounces, we'll say plus or minus 5, so 1495, 1505, somewhere in there, as long as it stays pretty consistent and we can keep that within the pretty much range. I know a lot of people are going to say 10 degrees, but with a forge it's kind of hard. So either you're going to overshoot or not enough, and you know, it really doesn't specify anything. So with ADCRV2, which is what we're using for steel, you actually run it just like 1080 or 1084, and at least that's what I do, and I get really good results. I think we hit our sweet spot. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and throw in our first 2 for quench. And because it's been out so long, the temperature gauge, our K meter, is literally dropping like a rock. We're at 1475 right now. So she will start equalizing and start climbing back up to our number. What's up, guys? I had to turn everything back on. We just hit 1500, and now the clock starts. We're probably about a few minutes into it. But we're holding steady at 15 even. That's what we really want to see. 1501 now, but that's where we're sitting. Everything looks good. All right. So this is going to be kind of fast. I'm going to try doing it on this side. I don't know if I can. It's a little bit different. Normally I do it the other way. But as soon as I go to quench, we're quenching it. And once it gets to that, where'd my rag go? That blackened part, we're going to throw it right into our quench plate. So, sorry guys if it's not professional, but I'm a knife maker, not a filmographer, whatever. Filmographer or something like that. So, however that's said, that's not me. So, seeing I actually have my other phone facing to get the quench, because, you know, I get different things from different places, you know what I mean? All right. So when this happens, it's going to happen fast. And, yeah. Let's see if we can catch it. I'm hoping the other angle will catch it and I can actually add it to the video. But, all right, here we go. What I'm doing here is air bubbles are actually your enemy. It's creating a vapor barrier. So you don't want that. Get most of that oil off. Now we're going to put it right in here. I should actually use my tongs, but you know, snug it down, and hopefully I got that. And then we're going to try to move all this on the fly. Here we go. Power of editing. All right. Here we go. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's easier for me to do it a certain way. But we should be able to splice that video in. So, sorry guys. There, I'll use my tongs for most of it. Stack them up. So the nice thing is doing it this way, at least the way I found I can do them, is while those are cooling off and doing their thing, these can be warming up, getting ready. So that's a quench. When we get ready to go through and test them and make sure they're at their hardness and all that good stuff, I'm going to bring you back, because other than that, it's just sitting around waiting and making sure everything equalizes and gets the proper temperatures. Also, this time also allows the oil to cool back down. Okay, you're dunking things in there at 1500 degrees, and that oil is going to come up. Now, we've already set it at roughly 120 degrees. I don't have a thermometer in there, but I use my heat gun, or my temperature gun, or whatever you call it, laser. And we were actually around 122. So when that heat comes up, it becomes less effective, but you still need it warm to be effective. Yeah, go figure that out. So by doing this process, it allows everything to kind of cool down and get back to normal, while everything else kind of cools down and gets where it should, and all happy and all that good stuff. So we're gonna let that do its thing. I'm gonna quench the other two, let everything get back up. Then I'll pull those two out, quench the other two, put them in, and then we'll actually start cycling another 4. And today's goal is to get all of them into temper today. So how are we doing, guys? So these have cooled down where I can touch them. We got to get through the first layers like decarb and all the oil and stuff, but this is one of the hardening files I have. And it's ringing. All right, guys. So it's been a day or two since I threw everything in the first temper cycle. Is Sunday, May 18th. So we're going to do this. I got yard work to do, so I figured I'd get a chance to show you what they kind of look like first round. Flip you around. There we go. So here's the first 6 of the 12. I got 5 80 key belt knives, 1 adventurer, and then the others is an adventurer here, and the rest are bushmen. Let's see if I can get you a good picture here. So everything's warming up right now. Normally it takes about an hour to come up and settle. So today is kind of chilly. We're going to see what happens. But I have my alarm set, and once everything settles out, they're going in for 2 hours at 400. So with all that, guys, I appreciate the support. I appreciate the views. I appreciate all the comments, and we're just starting rolling again. The last time I did anything for YouTube, it was back in 2015 for the shop. Things went awry. You know, time goes on. So with that being said, you guys have a great one, and I'll see you in the comments.